Dear students, today I will teach the drying and dehydration of the fruits and vegetables. Drying means fruits and vegetables. Drying is a method of a food preservation in which food is dried. Drying inhibits the growth of bacteria, yeast and molds through the removal of the water. Dehydration, fruits and vegetable. Dehydration is the process of removing water from fruit by circulating hot air through it, which probi- which prohibits the growth of enzyme and the bacteria. This is a picture of different product of the drying and dehydration, like your first one is your chips, that is product of the potato, then second is your garlic dried, then tomato, then different type of fruits. Preservation by drying and dehydration. The practice of drying of food stuff, especially fruits and vegetables, for preserving them is very old. The term drying and dehydration means the removal of the water. The former term is generally used for drying under the influence of the non-conventional energy sources like sun and the winds. If fruits or vegetables are to be sun dried, they are there or they or their pieces should be evenly spread in single layer on trays or boards and expose them to sun. In sun drying, there is no possibility of the temperature and humidity control. The hottest day in summer are therefore chosen so that the foods dry very fast, thus preventing them from getting spoiled due to souring. Souring or turning acidic is usually due to the growth of microorganisms which convert the carbohydrate in the food to acid. Quick removal of the moisture prevents the growth of the microorganisms. Dehydration means the process of removal of moisture by the application of artificial heat under the controlled condition of the temperature, humidity and air flow. In this process, a single layer of fruit, whole or cut into pieces, slices are spread on the trays which are placed inside the dehydrator. In the initial temperature of dehydration is usually 43 degrees centigrade, which is gradually increased to 60 to 66 degrees centigrade in case of the vegetables and 66 to 71 degrees centigrade in case of fruits. Then advantage of the dried and dehydration foods. Dried foods are more concentrated from them food preserved in other ways. Second, they are less costly to produce than canned or preserved foods because of lower labor cost and because of no sugar required. Next, due to reduction in the volume of the product, it requires less space. Then the weight of the product is reduced to 1/4 to 1/9 to its original fresh weight, and thus the cost of its transport is reduced. Then different methods of drying and dehydration are like that: the sun drying, drying by mechanical dryer, then osmotic dehydration, spray drying, foam made drying, freeze drying. These are the methods which are generally used for the fruits and vegetables. First is your sun drying. This type of drying is used in tropical and subtropical region where there is plenty of sunshine and practically little or no rain during the drying season. Sun drying in direct on diffuse sunlight, that is shed drying. One of the earliest method of the food preservation is still used for the production of dried fruits and also for drying nuts. It was originally limited to fruits high in the sugar content, which when harvested would dry naturally without hazard of loss from fermentation and molding. Then flow chart of the processing of the drying of the fruits. First is your selection of the fruit. Fruit should be fully mature, ripened. Therefore, they are free from the blemishes, spotted, and any disease and insect infestation. Then they are thoroughly washed. Then peeling is done by the removal of the outer skin by the live peeling or mechanical peeling or steam peeling or other method. Then preparation, they are cut into suitable size if required. Then pre-treatment is given for like your sulfuring and live peeling. Then spreading on the flat wooden trays. Then sulfuring is done. Sulfur dioxide is treated to the fruits, particularly in the case of fruits. Otherwise, so the oxidation is not occur in the fruits. Then drying is done at a particular temperature or in sun drying. Then sweeting the moisture of the fruit is removed. Then packaging in the airtight tin container or polythene bag. Then storage at ambient temperature. This is the flow chart of the drying of the fruits. First, then your live peeling. In case of pre-treatment, live peeling, dipping the fruits, particularly grape and dates, in the 0.5 to 2.5% boiling caustic soda solution for 0.5 to 2.5 minutes depending on their nature and the maturity of the fruit. Hot lye loosens the skin from the flesh by dissolving the pectin. The peel is removed easily by hand. Any trace of alkali is removed by washing the fruit thoroughly in running water or dipping it for a few seconds in 0.5% citric acid solution. Then sulfuring. Sulfuring is only done in case of fruits, not for the vegetable. Sulfur fumes act as a disinfectant and prevent the oxidation and darkening of the fruit on exposure and thus improve their color. This phenomena is generally seen in the sliced fruits which darken due to the oxidation of the coloring matter. Sulfur fumes acts as a preservative, checks the growth of mold, etc. and prevent the cut fruit pieces from the fermentation while drying in the sun. Vitamin in sulfured fruits are protected. The whole fruit slices pieces are exposed to the fumes of the burning sulfur inside a closed chamber known as sulfur box of 30 to 60 minutes or in small airtight room. Sulfur box is closed airtight chamber of galvanized iron sheet. It is fitted in a wooden framework having the runways on the both sides to hold the trays. For small scale sulfuring, a box of size of 19 to 60 into 90 cm which can hold 11 trays, each of 80 into 60 by 5 cm size is suitable. A box holding 10 trays will require burning of about 3 gram sulfur in one charge. Then sweeting. Keeping dried product in boxes or bins to equalize the moisture content. Then these are this was the sun drying. Then drying by the mechanical dryers. In this, the first is clean dryer. Clean dryers of design were generally two-story construction. A furnace or burner on the lower floor generated heat and warm air would rise through a slotted floor to the upper story. Foods such as apple slices would be spread out on the slotted floor and turn over periodically. This kind of dryer generally will not reduce the moisture to below about 10%. It is still used for apple slices. Then second is your cabinet, tray and pan dryer. Food may be loaded on a trays or pans in comparatively thin layer up to a few centimeters. Fresh air enters the cabinet, is drawn by the fan through the heated coil and is then blown across the food tray to exhaust. In this case, the air is being heated by the indirect method. Screens filter out any dust that may be in the air. The air passes across the between the trays in this design. The air is exhausted due to the atmosphere after one pass rather than the being recirculated within the system. The moisture laden air after evaporating water from the food would have to be dried before being recirculated. It will soon become saturated and further drying of the food would stop. Cabinet, tray and pan dryer are usually for the small scale operation. They are comparatively inexpensive and easy to set in the terms of the drying condition. They commonly are used to dry fruits, vegetable pieces, depending upon the food and the desired final moisture. Drying time may vary or maybe 10 to 20 hours. Then next one is your tunnel and continuous belt dryer. A main construction feature by which tunnel dryer has to be do with the direction of airflow relative to tray movement. The wet food cards move from left to right. The drying air moves across the trays from right to left. Its significance is that the air, when it is hottest and driest, contrasts the nearly dry product, whereas the initial drying of the entering cards get cooler. Moisture air that has cooled and picked up moisture going through the tunnel. This means that the initial product temperature and moisture gradient will not be great and the product is less likely to undergo case hardening or other surface shrinkage leaving wet centers. Further, lower final moisture can be reached since the driest product encounters the dried air. In contrast, there also are concurrent flow tunnels with the incoming hottest, driest and traveling in the same direction. In this case, rapid initiation drying air slow final drying can cause case hardening and internal splits and porosity as centers finally dry, which sometimes is desirable in special products. Just as cards of tray can be moved through a heated tunnel, so a continuous belt may be driven through a tunnel. Then we have a continuous belt or conveyor dryer and a great number of designs are possible. Then next is your belt through dryers. The belt is usually of metal mesh and heated air is blown up through the mesh. The belt moves continuously keeping the food pieces in the turf is constant motion to continuous expose new surface. This speeds drying and with air of about 135 degrees centigrade vegetable pieces may be dried to 5 to 7% moisture in about 1 hour. But not all product may be dried way since certain size and shapes do not readily tumble. Fragile apples edges may break, onion slice tends to separate and become entangled. Fruit pieces that exude sugar on drying tends to stick together clump with the tumbling motion. Then next is your airlift dryer. Several types conveyors dryers go a step beyond tumbling to expose more surface area of food particles. These generally are used to finish dry materials that have been partially dried by other methods, usually to about 25% moisture or at least sufficiently low so that the material become granular rather than having a tendency to clump and mat. Then next method is your air convection dryers. In this system, movement of air is generally controlled by a fan, blower and fapels. Air volume and velocity will affect drying rate, but its static pressure also is important since products being dried become very light and can be blown off trays or belts. The air may be heated by direct or indirect methods. In direct heating, the air is in direct contact with flame or combustion gases. In indirect heating, the air is in the contact with a hot surface, such as being blown across pipe heated by steam, flame or electricity. The important point is that indirect heating leaves the air uncontaminated. On the other hand, ion direct heating the fuel is seldom completely oxidized to carbon dioxide and water. Incomplete combustion leaves the gases and traces of salt as this is packed up by the air and can be transferred to the food product. Next method is your osmotic dehydration. The moisture is drawn out from all the cell tissues. The water is then bound with the solute, making it unavailable to the microorganism. In osmotic dehydration of fruits, the method involves the partial dehydration of the fruits by osmotic in a concentrated sugar solution or syrup. Advantage of osmotic dehydration are as follows or like that. First one is it minimizes the loss of color and the flavor. Next, the browning is prevented. Then sweetening of the product. Then it reduces the water removal load. Then it increases the solid density of the product. Then the textile quality will be better. Then the simple facility and equipments are required for this method. Next, the procedure is very less expensive. Limitation of the osmotic dehydration. First, the reduction in acidity level reduces the characteristic taste of the some products. Next, sugar uptake may not be desirable in certain products. Next method is your spray dryer. Spray dryer turn out a greater tonnage of dehydrated food products than all the other kinds of dryer combined. There are various types of spray dryer designed for specific food products. Spray dryer are limited to foods that can be atomized, such as liquid and low viscosity paste and puree. Atomization into minute droplet results in drying in the matter of seconds with common inlet air temperature of about 200 degrees centigrade. Since evaporative cooling seldom permits particles to get warmer than the about 80 degrees centigrade, and properly designed system quickly remove the dried particles from heated zone. This method of dehydration can produce exceptionally high quality with many highly heat sensitive materials including the milk, eggs and coffee. The next method is your foam mat drying. The foam is deposited on the perforated tray or belt support as a uniform layer approximately 3 mm thick. Just before the perforated support enter the heated oven, it is given a mild air blast from below. This forms small craters in the stiff foam which further expands foam surface and increases the drying rate. At oven temperature of about 82 degrees centigrade, foam layers of many foods can be dried to about 2 to 3% moisture in approximately in 12 minutes. Then next is your Freeze drying. Freeze drying can be used to dehydrate sensitive high value liquid foods such as coffee and juices, but it is especially suited to dry solid foods of high value such as strawberry, chicken dice, mushroom slices, etc. These type of foods, in addition to having delicate flavor and color, have textural and appearance attributes which cannot be well preserved by any current drying method except freeze drying. The principle behind freeze drying is that under the condition of low vapor pressure, water can evaporate from ice without the ice melting. When a material can exit as a solid, a liquid and a gas but goes directly from a solid to a gas without passing through the liquid phase, the material is said to sublime. Dry ice sublimes at atmospheric pressure and room temperature. Frozen water will sublime if the temperature is 0 degrees centigrade or below and the frozen water is placed in a vacuum chamber by pressure of 4.7 millimeter or less. Under such condition, the water will remain frozen and water molecules will leave the ice block at a faster rate than water molecules from the surrounding atmosphere re-enter the frozen block. Within the vacuum chamber, heat is applied to the frozen food to speed sublimitation, and if the vacuum is maintained sufficiently high, usually within a range of about 0.1 to 2 millimeter G, and the heat is controlled just short of melting the ice, moisture vapor will sublime at a near maximum rate. Sublimitation takes place from the surface of the ice and so as to continuous the ice front recedes towards the center of the food pieces. Thank you. The food dries from the surface inwards. Finally, the last of the ice sublimitation and the food is below 5% moisture. Since the frozen food remains rigid during sublimitation, escaping the water molecules leaves beyond them, resulting in a porous sponge like dried structure. Thus, freeze-dried foods reconstitute rapidly but also must be protected from ready atmosphere of atmospheric moisture and oxygen by proper packaging. Thank you.